Howdy folks, Dalter here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I guess the 2020 isn't necessary, I say it sometimes anyway. 66% done with the Apennines bush trip. Google said it's called Apennines. I still think it's Apennines. I don't know. Doesn't really matter at this point. Leg 7 out of 9. 1 leg per video with few exceptions. So the final 3 legs will be each in their own video. So that's all the introduction you get, because I assume you've seen the other legs. So here we go, let's get flying. Okie dokie, first thing we're going to do is repair and refuel. Come down here, turn on some lights so it's not so stark of a contrast. There, whoa, not that much. Okay, now there you go, good enough. That was kind of weird. We'll keep that zoom level the same. We'll set up autopilot in a moment here. Whoop, I'm getting a text from a mom friend. One moment. Okay, that was a quick cut for you, but it's like 15 minutes to texting my mom friends. School's coming to a close, and all my mom friends stay up later than I do, actually. And they had some questions about some elementary school graduation stuff. All right, so here we are. Let's set up autopilot now. First of all, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to go 149, which is this way. 174, 110, 129, 147, 105. So we're basically be going through here. So I don't think our elevation, well, oh, it does pick up. Okay. Let's start at 4,000 feet then for elevation or altitude, and then we'll climb as we need to. I just want to not get too high because then it's hard to see stuff, but I don't want to go up and down, up and down, up and down either. So we'll see how this works. Maybe we'll find a valley to go to. We've done it all different ways. We'll use the heading bug just to hold the airplane so we can sightsee. We'll hand fly if we need to, and we'll go up to our altitude at about 1,100 feet per minute. There we go. Quite simple there. Let's hop outside and see where they have us. Think that's enough room, or should we back taxi? Actually, we're going to taxi out to there as our back taxi and go this way, I think. Most likely. Why do we get sideways on the drone sometimes? That's kind of weird. Must be the... Whoop. Okay, drone. There we go. Use my yoke and pedals for my drone control, which means I lose control of the aircraft. That way, that's why we can't drone unless we are in autopilot. But look at that view a moment. I know it's not a sightseeing simulator, but in a way it kind of is. At least for all of us old school people who started with, you know, green pixels, and we had to say, that's a building, that's a runway. Like, okay. So this is quite amazing. And I love to soak it all in. Flight simulators, what do you make of it? So it can be a flight simulator or sightseeing simulator or an IFR trainer, whatever you want it to be. Just look at that a second. Let me go up a little bit. And that might actually be my thumbnail, even though there's not an airplane in it. We'll have to see what I think. Wow. This is probably becoming my favorite bush trip of them all. Mainly because of the scenery and because there's a good mix of flying over mountains and valleys and stuff. So this might be my favorite bush trip. It's hard to say because I've done like, there's 25, 30? I can't remember how many bush trips there are at the time of this recording, but I've done them all except 3. So that's at least 20 some bush trips. And this is my favorite. So that's saying something. All right, here we go. We're going to start at 149 degrees. Let's get that going first here. 128, 149. So basically we're going to turn around, which is why we're going to back taxi, take off the other way. Wind does not apply in these bush trips except the Patagonia one. That one, there's crosswind everywhere. It was insane in this aircraft, actually. All right, here we go. 149 degrees for a quick 135. I have to use my timer on my phone because the timer on the GPS doesn't, I don't know how to get to it. If you know how to get to it, let me know in the comments, but I recorded this probably 2 months ago. I think I started recording this mid-May, early May, so that's how long ago I recorded this. But you can tell me anyway for next time. This timer resets itself whenever you close the window, like this, as do these re-expand. I know you can minimize it like this, but that's annoying, and it looks awful. All right, so here we go. 149 degrees. Right away, we're going to get to Benevento. I know it's Italian, not Spanish, but I think it's still Benevento. Maybe it's Benevento. After taking off from Olivola Airfield is at a south-southeast course, paralleling the south trending highway leading from Torre Palazzo to Benevento, the capital city of the province of the same name. Italy has these provinces, and the capital cities are usually the provinces. So we're going to head this direction. There's a highway there, apparently. We'll see if we can find it. It's only for a minute or so, and then we'll see the city. So there's a big city out here. It's going to be pretty obvious. And then we're going to turn to 174 for a length of time, and we're going to head south following the Sabato River, which is probably this, to its turn to the east, which is right here. Then continue heading south, so we're going to go beyond it. So what's that terrain look like? We're going to have to go higher than 4,000 feet, aren't we? We're going to have to go up. We're just going to have to shoot up. Let's aim for 7,000. Flying over the village of Altavilla Irpina to reach the city of it's not Spanish, so it's not Avellino. It's Avellino, maybe? Located on a plain surrounded by peaks of the Apennines, which is what Google says. I still think it's Apennines. So we're just basically going to head south. So we're going to go out here to a city and head south, and then we'll reconvene after some sightseeing, because it's 6 minutes, and then we'll read about the next thing. So what is it? 149, 174. All right, let's go into our trusty taxi view. We do have one set of flaps down. Yes, we do. And let's go to the end. Is parking brake on? Why? Let's not go nuts here. Alright, we're about to turn around, and we'll just do a turn and burn here as soon as we get turned around carefully, because we don't want to tip over. That would be a big bummer. We've never done a departure from outside the aircraft before. Should we do that? Should we try it? Things that we risk are climbing too steeply and then stalling the aircraft. But then again, we do have the HUD, which I normally don't have up. You can't turn it off in... Oh gosh, come here. No, this is way hard from outside. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you can't turn the HUD off in... brake to stop the wheels, by the way. Flaps coming in. You cannot turn the HUD off in bush trips. It's kind of like a mini game. It's all preset what you're going to do. But I normally have it off in free flight. So here we go. We are airborne from the outside, which you normally don't do because of immersion and all that, but it's okay. Our speed is good. Let's take a vertical speed up a little bit and turn a little bit more. There we go, and we're almost at 149. There's the road they were talking about, and then we will join that river in a moment. So if we did this without the HUD, this would be a fun way to fly. And I know you need the HUD to keep track of your stuff, but it's annoying. So let's hop inside now. Let's engage autopilot just because we can. Should be a pretty smooth handoff. There we go. Otherwise, that is it. You all know the drill. Since this is the middle of a bush trip, I assume this is not the first time you've seen me fly a bush trip. So we're going to jump to sightseeing now, as soon as the co-pilot is done talking to us. And we are going to look at the city, and then we're going to make our turn to 174, and that's when we'll start the stopwatch. So I guess we can stick together until we make our turn. So let's go to the city here, and then we'll change, I think it's a 174. So there's your city. If you're from the area, welcome. I have to assume everybody's from everywhere, because I'll do what I think is a random remote flight somewhere random, and a week later I'll get a comment saying, hey, I live there. I'm like, wow, cool. So I assume somebody at some point watching lives here, so welcome. There's your city from the air. Looks like we got some train stations and stuff. Alrighty, we're in the middle of the city, so it's time to make our turn. So let's start my stopwatch first. Actually, start the stopwatch, and it's 174, I believe. Bring our props a little bit. We're in the red. Come on. 174 for 6 minutes. So let's move this up. No, up is this way. 174. Alrighty, head south, fly over, blah blah blah. So we're looking for a village and then a city. So hopefully, hopefully then sightseeing, we find a village in the city. Let's zoom that out a little bit. Another one. Let's go like, oh, come here. Let's keep like that. Not like that, so we can see the train. Alright, village in the city. So this is going to turn south. I pointed to that one, didn't I? I was wrong. This one, obviously. We're going to follow this south. When that turns, we'll look for village in the city, and I'll see you in... we're still climbing, so like 6 minutes or so my time. See you in a little bit. Alright, I'm jumping in already. Let's go back to that sightseeing shot we just had, because if you look, there's our village, or a town, and there's our city. We're at 5 minutes now, so we'll be at the city a little behind schedule because we're climbing. I'm hoping that our elevation is enough. It should be. We'll find out when we get closer. We are at 7,000 feet. If I need to do a quick emergency climb, I will. Alright, hello city. You made an enemy in me. If you know what song that is, let me know. And the band who did it. You gotta think like super late 80s, early 90s for that one. Yep, wearing a mock turtleneck, that stinks. Yep. There's a few hints for you. Tell me if you know that song. Alright, here we go. Next order of business is to turn to 110 degrees, which is back this way. 110, and we'll start the timer while we look out the window, and then we'll read about what we're doing. Boy, that's looking kind of satellite-y from this altitude, but that's okay. We better check our vitals here too in a second. That's the problem with looking out the window without peripheral vision, is you can crash into stuff without realizing it. Yeah, see, look, there's a big hill right there. I think we're high enough though. Barely. If we were over there, we'd be in trouble. But I think we're high enough. We're going to risk it. Alright, here we go. 110 degrees. Why? Montella. Turn to the southeast at Avellino. Flying just to the left of Monte Calca de Arcello, the highest point in the local standard peaks just ahead. And then coming to the town of Montella, located in a small valley. So just left of the highest peaks. Well, look at that. That's what we're doing. Highest peaks, I would say, are over here. Whoops. This is just left, and then in how many minutes? 5.5 minutes. We're going to look for a town in a valley, or are we supposed to be over there or over here? I just know we're going right for this hill. I mean, there's a valley here. That's where we're headed. There's a valley here. Is this valley 6 minutes out is the question. We're already a minute into this. That's not 6 minutes out. There's a valley here. Okay, just left of the highest peaks. That would be highest peaks. There's a valley there. Should we aim for that? Maybe we turn too soon or too late. Maybe we're supposed to turn here and end up there. Maybe. Because we're not going to make it in. We're not going to make it out here. Yeah. We're not going to make it this far in 6 minutes. So it has to be there. It has to be there. Well, we're going to go 6 minutes and see where we end up. And make some corrections if we need to. Are we high enough for those highest peaks out there? Yeah, we're fine. We're good. Why does it show, though, that we're going over some tall stuff? I guess maybe that's that right there. And the city's going to be here. Maybe. No matter what, though, I just realized we're going to be able to see everything. So we will have a peak in a couple minutes. We're already 2.5 minutes in. So I'll see you in a couple minutes, right? 5 minutes, 5.5. Yeah, see you in a little bit. Alright, we're way over time because I was busy enjoying the view, which I guess is the point, but I don't see any cities out here, so somehow we got off track. Somehow. So now we gotta make up for it. Hopefully there's a lake up here, some type of landmark. So let's restart the timer since we're behind, and then we're gonna go to 107, which isn't much of a difference, but there we go. And what's gonna happen here? Now we are headed to Calabrito. Continue on a southeasterly course, flying into a small range of peaks on the east side, which lies Calabrito, a small mountain town. So what does it say here? Small range of peaks on the east side for only 4.5 minutes. We were already behind, so I'm gonna give us 4 minutes at most. I don't see anything. I'll keep my eyes peeled here for you and let you know if I see anything that could resemble a small town. I mean, it could be that right there above the nose, maybe. I don't know. I think I found it. I think it's right here. Based on the descriptions and everything, I'm pretty sure it's right there. So let's actually aim for that so we can get back on track here. So I think I turned too soon coming out of that city back there, even though it said to keep the peaks on the right. I think I was supposed to go over the other peaks though. So we're going to aim right here where that river starts. That's where we're headed. We're going to aim for that, and then we'll make adjustments as we get there. I don't know what else we can do other than that. At least we're high enough. I don't think it's that. It said small mountain town. That looks too big. I think it's that thing way out there. So anyway, what's our timer say here? Our timer says, I don't know. It's close enough. So let's read about the next thing here as we head that way. Now we're going to turn 129 degrees, which is not much more than actually going back. Let's do that right now. From Calabrito, turn slightly more southward and follow the eastern margin of the valley to the south, then pass over a small spur of peaks to reach the town of San Gregorio Magno, 5 minutes out. Okay. I'm going to fly for 5 minutes, start the timer, and look for San Gregorio Mango. I mean, with all these towns, there's like no river reference, there's no lake reference, it's just peaks. So we're doing the best we can. And there's a valley, so maybe we're going to go down the valley next. What comes after San Gregorio? Distance will follow, built inside a mountain. Side of the mountain, motorway. Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't know. Let me give you a minute sightseeing, and we'll just figure this out together. So I'm pretty sure Mountain Town is that one right here. Can't be 100%. I'm thinking that's where it is. And that's all I have to say. I don't know. I already adjusted our course and started the timer for the next one just because I was like in a groove. So what was it? Hang on. 129 or something. I can't remember. I'm in here somewhere. I kind of got off track. I was doing the sightseeing thing, and somebody upstairs needed something, ran back down. I was off course. I made a correction, and here we are. So Gregorio, slightly mountain town, and then from there returning 147. So I didn't really read this to you all, I don't think. Like I said, I lost track of what I was doing because I had to run upstairs, but spur of peaks to the reach of mountain towns. I think that's what that was back there without me reading about it. So I kind of got one step ahead of you, which I've never done before, but there you go. Next, we're going to Slalom called Selena 147 for 8.5 minutes. There we go. So probably in here somewhere. Visually pick up motorway in the distance and follow it to the southeast to reach Sala Concelina, village built into the side of the mountains. I'm pretty sure we're headed here. I'm pretty confident that's where we're going. 8.5 minutes or more. Yeah. So that's where we're at. See, there's the motorway in the distance. See. So, sorry I missed one of the things without reading it to you, but like I said, I had to run upstairs. I got distracted. I got in a groove. And I wanted to get us back on track, which I did. So there you go. There's the Gregorio place, I'm pretty sure. There's the ocean. And we're headed to Selena, something. Whatever that said, that's where we're headed. And I'll see you there, I hope. So there is a town below us right now. Let's hop outside and I'll show you. But I don't think that's it because we're only 4 minutes into this leg. And it says into the side of a mountain. So there's this here. There's that there. There's a town up here. There's a town up there. Because one of these towns is the one we're looking for. So we're going to keep going a couple more minutes before we can make our next move. I just wanted to point that out in case that is it. But I don't think so. I think it's further down. So a little bit more sightseeing and we'll find this place, I hope. Alright, our time is up and it puts us looking at this mountain thing that you just saw in the sightseeing view. Let me go back outside. Right here. See this long city in the mountain? This is what the time picks up as. So we're going to say that's the mountain. That's what I'm going to say. We'll wait till we get halfway through it though before we change direction. Now I did change our course to put us back over the center of the valley. So that's why the numbers don't line up here. But let's read about what's happening next then. So after Sala Concelina, we're going to go a quick 2 minutes, continue paralleling the motorway, staying to its east. So we want to stay left of it, which we actually already were. Staying to its east, reach the hamlet of Padula, home of a large monastery. So let's go back 137 degrees so that we stay east of the motorway, which we are now. I can even show you outside. There we go. There's the motorway. We're staying east. There's our city. Bam, bam, bam. 2 minutes out. We're going to look for this huge monastery. Hopefully we can find it. It just says, yeah, 210. So we'll look for that. And then after that, We're going to go over this way, over these mountains for 6 minutes to look for our airport, which is not in view. We can actually use this one then, which we don't use this one very often, but we can. So it's going to kind of point us in the right direction. So right now, where are we? We're looking for Golf Tango. So right now we are right here. We're gonna look for Golf Tango. There it is. Okay, so there's, oh, here it is right here. See, there's the water. So we're gonna go here and then cross over. We'll probably wait till we get past that peak. Or do they want us to cut through here? We're already a minute in. Maybe they want us to cut across there. I don't think it's going to matter because we're way above. We're not way above, but we're above terrain, and there's that body of water. So as soon as we cross these mountains, we'll nosedive towards that water, and then we should have an airport there. Okay, super easy to figure out. We better look for this monastery, but super first, set the colors to fly above low peaks to gain visual on a distant lake. We already got that visual. Western side of the lake, south of its north arm is the airport. Western side of the lake, south of the whatever, we'll see it on the GPS. Okay, let's look for this monastery. Why are we crooked again? There should be a huge monastery anywhere in here because we are just about to reach our 2.5 minutes or so. If it's a POI, it's going to look cartoonish, right? We've talked about that before, how handmade objects are very cartoonish looking, so they stand out like a sore thumb, which makes it easy to find them. Wow, this town really is built into the side of the mountain. They weren't kidding. Look at this long town in the mountain. That's crazy. And there's the motorway and there's the river. Anyway, there's a monastery. We're at 2:14 now, so somewhere in here there's a monastery. But I'm hoping it stands out like a sore thumb because it's handmade, I'm assuming. But I really don't see anything, unless it's right here. Could be that. So let's fly up to that, and then we'll make our turn, because then the city ends anyway, right? Yeah, then the city ends anyway, and then we'll be able to head towards this lake on the western side, south of the North Arm. So like right there probably. If we zoom in, there might be an airport popping in. Not sure. Anyway, let's look for this monastery here. And then we'll head in that direction. It did say to go 105 degrees, but we'll take whatever we need to get right there. South of the North Arm on the western side. I think that's what it said. Right, monastery, yeah, there it is. See how it sticks out like a sore thumb? See how it's very different than everything else? That's because it's handmade. And when they do that, it just looks cartoonish, which is a huge bummer. I don't know why they have to have it that way, but every single POI in the sim is cartoonish. It benefits us in that we can find things easier, but it's still rather annoying, to be honest. See, look at this. It's this whole thing. See how it looks like a cartoon? All this. I mean, I know how much work goes into that. I used to actually do this exact thing for a company I worked for, so I understand how much work this is. But even back in 2005 when I was doing it, I didn't look cartoonish like this. So I speak from somebody who used to do this professionally. But anyway, there we go. Enough complaining and whining about that. Let's make our turn now. Let's try 105 and see if that'll actually get us there, but I think we're going to have to turn more. 105, we're not going to use a timer because we have a visual on the lake, and we'll have a visual hopefully on the airport very soon once we get the lake in view. Alright, I'm going to make adjustments, check our vitals, start coming down as soon as we cross these peaks and look for this airport, and I will see you when it's time to descend to land. See you in a little bit. I apologize for telling you I was busy sightseeing and only giving you 2 little sightseeing shots. Don't know, don't know how you screwed that up, but I did. And where's the airport? Must be under our nose because I see it on the GPS, but I don't actually see it. Where is this thing? It's where it was supposed to be, right in here somewhere. Where are you, airport? Oh, look at that. I mean, we have to corkscrew down for a long time anyway, so I might as well enjoy the ride on the way down, but... Well, there it is. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. Okay. So, we have many ways to rectify our situation. Trying to decide how to do this. I think what we'll do is we'll just fly down along the lake, make a U-turn along the lake, or over the lake, and then land. I think that's how we'll do this. Yeah. Should be the way to go. Let's stay parallel to the runway though, and then set up heading bug so that we know our runway positioning, although we're not totally parallel, but we're close enough. Okie dokie, so what are we going to do? We're going to come down steeply, but realistically. Our speed, as long as we don't overspeed, is fine. And we're just going to ride the lake, come back, and land. And I apologize again for such short sightseeing, limited sightseeing, even though I selfishly enjoyed a lot of it myself. Sorry about that. Alright, let's pay attention to what we're doing. Gear's always down. We're getting into flap range, although we don't need to quite be in flap range yet. And let's get lined up with the runway here. We just need to find the runway again. Did we get a little too low? No, we're good. We're very good, actually. Oh, this worked out slick. All right, cool. Oh, so fix the barometer. There we go. That changed the altitude quite a bit. All right, let's give ourselves a little bit more space here. We got to get in flap range, and we got a little hot when I was looking around just a second ago, so now we're going too fast. So let's do a sharp Z, not an S but a Z. Level off, flap 1. There we go. There we go, we fixed it. Flap 2. We're on a plateau, but at least there's some space before the runway because it can be very difficult to land. On a plateau, it's easy to crash into the side. Alright, there we go. A little slow now, a little low too. Don't know how that happened, but it did happen. So let's ride this out. Come on now. See when you're too low, you lose sight of the runway. Bad turtle. This is a terrible approach. Oh well, we'll survive. We'll make it. We'll make it. There we go. Alright. Gentle, gentle. I'm going to let it float on purpose just so I can try not to bounce. No, we're going to bounce. Every time. So whatever updates they made of this aircraft just do not work well with me because we never used to bounce until this bush trip. Oh well, at least we don't nosedive anymore. Oh, stop. Oh, gall. That looked fine, but it's very scary. I think we did it though. There's the save icon. There we go. Okay. Leg 7? That was leg 7, right? Alright, you know the drill. If you want to see leg 8, which I hope you do, like and subscribe so you know when it goes live. Or not live, but when it drops. And I'll see you then.